Good morning, friends. Steve here, and I think we'll just start off today just locking in. So just start off by saying these words out loud. I connect my deep self. Connect my higher self. Connect to my highest self. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I let go of anything not useful to me now. And if you choose to work with the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors, you can state, I choose to work with the Hathors. And the rest of these words I can just say, you can say them if you want to, but I ask that we all be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. And I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls to return to that event and release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And upon our arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely on all levels and through all space and time. Now the world's right or left, but now I have my collar kind of flattened. So yesterday I did a video that I entitled World Class Healing Class for January 14th, and I found that it really had a very positive effect on me making it. And then one of my subscribers said that it was at the 10-minute mark that it really kind of took off for her. And so I rewatched it and then I watched it from the 10-minute mark, and I could really see where some information came in really during that time that was really useful. And I'm going to tell you in this video kind of what it was. Because what I was feeling yesterday was a bit overwhelmed by the magnitude of the energetics that we're working with right now. And what my guide suggested I do was take my image of the world and the world healing field surrounding that world and just collapse it down to a soccer ball size with a field around the soccer ball. And then instead of imagining me to be some dot on the surface of that soccer ball, it was suggested that I imagine myself as the One, as the all that is. Imagine myself as that, because each of us is a fractal of that. So when someone says, I am that I am, there is not a way to be separate from what is. You are that I am, that you is. And so by imagining myself as being the I am presence, I felt myself get very large And then I was a very large energy holding the world in my hands. And that felt doable. And so far, I think I was just a little bit ago, I was watching that video for the fourth time. It was having a very useful effect on me. But I was thinking, well, it might have useful for other people to set up a healing field. And useful for me as well to set up a healing field for today. Because the energies that we've cleared are clear. But as these vibrations go up around the planet, there's continually new energies to clear throughout the day, is my experience. And in that video, I think it was in that video, because I made 3 videos yesterday, and I've been watching them because I'm getting some, like, information comes through me in those videos, and then when I watch it, I go, oh, I get that. And what I was getting, maybe it was on the world-class healing class. Maybe it was on that video from yesterday where I was talking about resonance. And we're all resonating to something. And I think that what I've been resonating with is the disturbance and not the center of the storm, which is the peace. So today what I'm going to suggest is that on multiple occasions when you feel it necessary, where you feel like, oh, I said I connect to the deep self, but notice where things are at inside yourself. And I'm going to state it again, and you can as well. I connect to my deep self. And notice if something happens when you state those words. Notice if you feel an expansion somewhere within your core, that you just feel even if it's a small expansion, and it's okay if no expansion occurs. But for me, I felt this expansion. And I was also reading in the Mayan calendar, I think it was, where I was reading this, where it talked about how our resonance, the resonance that we put out, is based on the vibrancy of the 7 chakras. And the 7 chakras, in some traditions, are looked at as related to the endocrine glands. So you have the pineal and the pituitary, the thyroid, the thymus, the pancreas, the adrenals, the gonads. Those are the endocrine glands that these chakras, which are energy centers, vibrate and affect. And in some traditions, and I'm just looking off into space, I'm just listening. In some traditions, they talk about the thymus, the area of the thymus, which some people associate with the chakra. They associate the endocrine gland, the thymus, but some people call this area the heart chakra as well, because it's in the center of the chest. And a lot of times people imagine that this is the connecting link between the higher realms, higher energetic realms, and the earthly realms. And they're all one realm. But there are, a difference in the frequencies in the higher realms and the earthly realms. The earthly realms are more condensed energetics. And in, I think it was the Mayan calendar, description of the resonant structure. We might be in the month of resonant. And I have my book right here, so I might, or my calendar, I might grab it. But maybe I'll just stick with this. So, we affect the world by our chakras, relationship with each other, and how they're affecting our energy field, what we're radiating out from this place. And during these times with the vibration going up, so the vibration around the earth has been going up for 28 years. The 28 years will complete on March 24th of 2025. So there's 2.5 more months. And I don't know what happens to frequency after that. It was described to me that this was going to be a 28-year process of change, of cleansing. So 1997 to 2004 was going to be physical cleansing. 2004 to 2011, mental cleansing. 2011 to 2018, emotional cleansing. 2018 to 2025, spiritual cleansing. And the spiritual cleansing has, from my experience, just been the most difficult. But we had to go through the other levels of cleansing to even in 2018 get to the point where our systems could work with the higher vibrations. So we had already risen up to a higher vibration by 2018. And then it kept going up. But at a certain point, it started going up. Like the earlier ones, I'd feel the vibration would rise and we would stabilize, and then it would go up again, and we'd stabilize and go up. The feeling in this past few years is it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And there's almost not a feeling of time or space to even integrate the changes that were being put through. And the cleansing, if you think about the term cleansing, so that was the words that I heard in a telepathic communication. So again, voices inside my head. But it's more of a download of information that Abraham and gave me of what was going to be happening over the next 28 years. And he referred to it as cleansing. 28 years of cleansing. 7 years of physical cleansing, 7 years of mental cleansing, 7 years of emotional cleansing, and 7 years of spiritual cleansing. It's a lot of cleansing. So if you think about cleansing, cleansing is washing something and getting the dirt out. So if you think about the spiritual level of cleansing, you might think about having to do with unresolved events. You could say from our past, these experiences, well, they're unresolved events. They have to be past because they can't be happening right now and stay unresolved. But they're never in the past, they're always in our present. So as these vibrations go up, we're in the wash cycle. 2.5 more months in the wash cycle. And our stuff just keeps coming up. And I notice when I create the space for it, I don't have to do anything about it other than release it. Release the energies that I feel whenever I feel them, like, oh, the story. So I feel like, and then there's emotion, there's story, there's emotion. And if I take those and I separate them, I'm going to show it here, but actually you're going to separate it arm's length apart. You're going to separate both of these arm's length apart. But I'm going to show it right here, like as if they're arm's lengths apart. So you have a visual. You got the story and you got the emotions. And arm's length apart, you let go of those emotions. Now you got a story. And it's an arm's length apart. And you release that story. And you do it over and over and over again. People say, well, I already washed my clothes last week. And you might say, well, what have you done this week? Well, I played in the mud, played soccer, played hockey, played some sport, got all smelly and stinky. What'd you do with your clothes? I threw them in the laundry basket. How many layers are in there? 3 or 4. Cleansing is an ongoing process. But cleansing in this case has to do with unresolved events that they could have been resolved at the time they happened, but they weren't. So we set up healing fields. We put ourselves in a field of protection just so we're not distracted by the energies of the world so much. So when we're in a field of protection, the energies of the world are out there, and what we're working with is within that protected field. And we ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And on a soul level, we go back to the event. On a being, human, mental body, emotional body, we may stay right here. I mean, it's possible for us to astral travel with our soul back to the event, but I recommend not doing it because really the soul resolves it. It's resolved. It's resolved for you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The soul will resolve it. Soul goes back to the event, releases and integrates the energies of the event. You may experience it in present time, but I'm just going to suggest it's a lot easier to experience it in present time, in the body you're in, right here, right now, as opposed to going through the portal of time and going back to the event and realize what kind of trauma, and watch, look at it. Don't look at it. I'm just saying. The soul clears it, it clears it. It's clear. No need to traumatize yourself by something that traumatized you before. So I've been thinking about this from the video I made yesterday, how they had me shrink down the world to the size of a soccer ball. And I've been thinking about the poles of the earth and how the energy in the human body, so I'm going to use me as a human body, so I'm going to say, and I'm going to demonstrate it in the picture. Like, so those energies rise up through the crown chakra, they go out and they go back down around and up through the feet, and then they come up the central channel and up through the crown chakra. So you could say this is the North Pole. You could say your feet are the South Pole, or you could say your perineum is the South Pole. But these energies are moving in both directions through the central channel. When they're moving well, you're aware of them. When they're kind of blocked, when that crown chakra is blocked or the perineum is contracted and the energy is blocked, it doesn't move as much. It has to move, but it can move very, very sluggish. Like if you got a bunch of hair in your drain, and then you get some stuff, shampoo and soap and stuff packed in with the hair, and then the drain instead of the sink emptying, the sink as you're putting water into it's just filling up. That's what the body can feel like. That's what it does feel like. And when we get to a point where these energies outside of us, the vibrations are rising, and we're holding on to these painful experiences that we could let go of. If it gets bad enough, we let go of them. But what if we were willing to let go of them before they got bad enough, before they got bad at all? We just like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. Okay, I'm just going to say, there's an emotion here. I can feel this thing I'm holding on to. So I'm going to take the story I'm holding on to, I'm going to take the emotions that I was holding on to, and then notice if it doesn't feel there anymore. Now you got it here. Now separate it, arm's length apart, and let go of the emotion. Let go of the story. Notice a difference if you feel one. Put that on repeat. Sometimes you know, in the old school, you had a record player and you had a new record and you just put it on repeat. It would go and then it would go back and just start again and go back and start again. Just put this on repeat. Just keep cleansing the system of all the unresolved energies that are being held onto from the past. Let them go. I'm speaking to myself. It might be working for you too. But no, I'm speaking to myself because when I'm working with grounding the world healing field, and I get triggered by the energies of that field and I hold on, it gets very uncomfortable for me. So I need to do these. I think one of the reasons my guides suggest I do these videos so they could heal me through these words. That then they could say, well, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. You might want to talk about this, as they work with me, releasing these energies that we've held on to. But when the energies weren't going up around the planet, you could hold on to them, and they just, wouldn't cause you that much of an issue until you died. You could have hold on to these till you made it to 60, and then you're like, ugh! And off you went. It's not that way. You can't hold on. You can try to hold on to these, but you can't hold on to them. Okay. That was good. That's a good start. I don't think I even spent all that much time. I don't have my glasses. I'm going to have them here next time. But yeah, it's longer. Oh, well. So the last part of this is we ask the higher self to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul right through the crown chakra with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity, compassion, creativity, and kindness. We ask those souls to ground themselves in the healing center of the earth, open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies at this time, and we ask that these new energies be brought in now. Ooh, there was some big ones. There must be a lot of you out there doing this. That's big energies. Thank you for being willing to have those move through you. They feel good, but they're big energies. And now I ask that they be activated. I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done, and that is good. All right, thank you for today. Thanks for assisting me with these energies. And if we keep working with it, at some point we're going to be resonating at just a higher and higher level where we're actually be impacting the field by our presence. That's the goal, and that's the plan. And I'll come back and do another healing video and then do a Mayan calendar reading or a tarot reading or something. Now must go.